All right, so we're going to start this morning, and we've got Janet with us here on the line, all the way from Lafayette, Louisiana. How you doing, Janet?
I'm doing good.
So,
How
Ashli,
are you?
we're doing good.
We're awesome.
And we got a little snow yesterday, so, things are all whitened up and nice and cold and wintry, and you're down there in Louisiana where you don't have to deal with any snow. What's the first thing you think of when you think of Minnesota?
I think of the snow, man. Y'all, I'm thinking. I don't know how close y'all are to if y'all are in the storm, but man, y'all got some snow over there.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
That's why we appreciate the seasons so much. We get all that variety. So before we let you go, I want to ask you one more thing. Can you give us your best Minnesota accent? What you think Minnesotans talk like?
How would they talk? Would they have a twang? Like, would they have a Mississippi twang? No, they wouldn't have that. No, let's see. They wouldn't have New Orleans accent. So let's see. Minnesota. Well, I mean, we're talking to two Minnesota people. They sound like they're from Lafayette. So this is...
Give her a beer or two. She sounds like she's from Canada. Hey, Janet, thank you so much for helping us out. She thinks of snow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people think of.
We're going to Poughkeepsie, New York, and we've got Abby standing by here. Abby, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. You're doing good yourself?
Doing good.
We're wonderful.
All right, so the reason we're bugging you this morning, Abby, is we've got $1 million question for you, and the question is, what's the first thing you think of when you think of Minnesota?
The accent.
Okay.
Really?
Perfect, because the second...
because my friend had an aunt, and she, dragged out her O's. No. Like that?
I don't know. You got to go with more conviction.
Let's do more of a sentence.
Yeah.
No. Like that.
We have more than one word in
Yeah,
Minnesota.
No.
We all just say no.
A sentence? No.
All right, Abby, have an awesome day. Thanks for helping us out.
You too. Have a nice day.
Yeah,
You
take
too.
care.
Bye.
So we got Lindsay in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We're going to throw her the $1 million question this time around as we travel around the country to find out what people think. Lindsay, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Minnesota?
The Twins.
Twins.
I
You're a
like
baseball
it. That's
fan.
good.
I think of the Minnesota Twins.
I love it.
We're about 70 days away from opening day. So now the other thing we're going to ask you to do is give us your best Minnesota accent.
You can do it. I have faith in you.
Well, I know as a Southerner, I get made fun of all the time, so I guess the best I can do is Minnesota.
One more time.
Could you please use that in a sentence?
It's real cold up there in Minnesota.
You got to have a little more O.
Minnesota.
There you go.
You
nailed
got it.
Lindsay. All right, we're going to Massachusetts, okay? We're going east. And we got Brian with us this time. Brian, we're calling because we just want your knee-jerk reaction, the first thing you think about when you think of Minnesota.
The Vikings.
All right,
Ooh,
Vikings. All right.
I like it.
And then the other question is, can you give us a good Minnesota accent? Like, how do you think Minnesotans talk?
Oh gosh. Oh dear, eh?
Oh, you threw the A. I love it.
Very good.
That was great.
Brian, you're a star. Thanks for helping us out, man. Have a good day.
No problem.
All right, we got Cassidy this time. She's in Amarillo, Texas. And Cassidy, we're just randomly picking up the phone and calling around the country. And the $1 million question is, what do you think of when you think of Minnesota? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Vikings.
Vikings!
Oh, there we go. I like it.
So then the other thing we want to do is see if you can give us what you think is your best Minnesota accent.
Oh, gosh. I don't even know. Isn't it basically just like a Canadian accent?
Pretty much.
Let's hear you try it.
Hey, there's a lot of snow, eh?
Oh, you got the A
Yeah,
in
you got
there.
the A.
Pretty
That's good.
Yeah, a lot of snow out there, eh?
Exactly.
Well,
We
Cassidy,
love
what's
it.
your weather like today?
It's actually pretty nice. It's going to be like almost 60.
You know how many months I have to wait for 60?
Too many. Let's not count.
imagine.
Ugh.
All right, hey, Cassidy, have an awesome day.
See you later.
Thanks, bye. All right, we're going to Atlantic City, New Jersey. Did you guys get some snow, Susie?
Yeah, it's about 8 inches, 8 to 10.
8 inches.
Wow.
So just to keep it in that perspective, we have not had like even 6 inches yet this winter in Minnesota. So the reason we're calling is because we just want to get your first knee-jerk reaction. What do you think of? What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Minnesota?
Ooh, snow.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
You and everybody else, although you have more than we do now. Can you give us? Do you have give us your like? What do you think Minnesotans sound like? How do they talk? Can you do a good Minnesota imitation?
I wouldn't even know
Yeah.
because it's so in the middle of. I don't know. Do they sound like people from Wisconsin?
Kinda.
'Cause they
Try it.
definitely
Let's
have
see.
Yeah. What do
an
Wisconsin people sound like?
Yeah.
That would be the first thing that I don't know. I have a girlfriend. She would say something like Minnesota. Minnesota. She sounds like she's almost comes from Boston or somewhere.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
I love it.
So we've got Bridget, and she's in Owensboro, Kentucky. And Bridget, good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing well. So we just wanted to get your knee-jerk reaction. We're calling people all over the country this morning to find out what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Minnesota.
When I think of Minnesota, the Vikings.
The Vikings.
The Vikings.
That's a popular
wow.
answer today. Yeah.
I'm actually kind of impressed.
I don't even think about the
Is
Vikings.
that a good thing? Do you like the Vikings?
Yeah, absolutely. Football.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
So the other thing we want you to do is see if you can give us your best Minnesota accent. We're just trying to find out how people think we talk.
The only thing I can think of is how to say like the state. So it's like Minnesota. Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
And I have a very country accent, so I don't do a very good job.
Well, that's all right.
I loved it.
No matter where you go, everybody's got their own little twist on everything. Bridget, thanks a ton for helping us out this morning. Have a good day.
Not a problem.
All right, we got Amy. We're going to Oklahoma. You ready, Ashli?
I'm ready.
Morning, Amy. How are you?
Good.
Good. So the question we're calling all around the country this morning, and the question is, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Minnesota?
Minnesota, the accent, I guess.
Oh, you're
I
good.
love it. Yeah. Wow.
Because the second thing we're going to ask is, give us your best Minnesota accent.
Can you do it in a sentence?
Oh, gosh. Let's see. I went to the grocery store. Oh, I don't know.
Okay, go. Give one more time. Give us a little Minnesota.
Minnesota.
There you go. Minnesota.
I love it.
You got the O going.
I think she's the best one we've talked to so far.
Because it's all the O is that very house mouse Minnesota.
The road.
The road.
Minnesota. Yes, Minnesota.
Have you ever seen Taylor? There's a video online of Taylor Swift making fun of a Minnesota soccer mom, and it is brilliant.
You have to Google it now.
I have to.
Yeah,
Now I
you'll
have
laugh. All right, thanks for helping us out. Have an awesome day, Amy.
Bye.
to. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye. So we're going, we actually could talk about a couple of things here, Ashley, because we're going to go to Colorado for this one.
Okay.
And in addition to what we're doing all morning long, we'll have to talk about the Broncos a little bit, too.
Of course.
Drew, good morning. How are you?
Great, Pete. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You guys all still living your Denver Broncos high out there?
We really are. We've got, all the people in the office who lost the bet are bringing in donuts all day long. It's great.
I love it. Okay, but that's not why we're calling. The reason we're calling this morning, Drew, is we want to know from you what's the first thing you think of when you think about Minnesota?
Mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Good,
That's
for sure.
different.
We need you to give us your best Minnesota accent, too, Drew.
Oh, well, when I was out there, I found a Coke machine, and, they lent me some change so I could go get a Coke and have some pizza and Coke with all the staff.
Oh, my gosh. That was
we have a
awesome.
winner.
We have a winner.
We're
That
calling
was so good.
all around the country this morning, and nobody could even get close. You nailed it.
Are you sure you don't live
Well,
here?
when you run into a guy named Bjorn who hands you a quarter and tells you to get a Coke, you remember it.
Thanks, Drew.
No problem, Pete. You have a good one.